guys, phone's on low battery, so I'm not gonna be able to get much right now, but I figured I should get you guys up to speed at least so you can see before I get too far ahead of the game what I got going on here. So let me go ahead and pull this off. So basically, stock, the car comes with this kind of odd shaped, there's the new one, there's the old one, kind of induction piece for the MAF to the throttle body. And I'm just not that big of a fan of this design. I have a new one just in case my plan doesn't work, but I figure that if I can find the right coupler, I can just use this instead. And so far the game plan is looking good. My next step is I'm going to cut this down to length so that it's matching the same height as this basically. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'll probably leave a little bit longer because I'm actually gonna be running a different filter setup anyways. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of get you guys up to speed with that. Getting this thing off was pretty difficult because it was just so stuck on from years and years of not being removed, but this will make things a lot easier to work on things in the future. And while I have this apart, I figured I might as well try to get this big PCV line off. I was worried that if I did this, I was gonna accidentally like chip some plastic pieces into the throttle, but I realized that this is the pipe that extrudes that it's stuck onto, so I can just plug this up and I'll be able to see if anything pops in there anyway. So yeah, I'm basically gonna break this big tube off, which it's probably gonna come off in pieces because it's so old, and I will replace it with the line that I do have. So check back with you guys in a second. Glad my phone didn't die yet. All right, we still got a little bit of battery left. This thing just shattered off. There's the old piece. It's kind of broken as well, so I'm gonna try to get that off. There's a clamp on it, which is making it a little difficult, but yeah, I'm just basically gonna try to get these pieces off as best I can. Slipping on the new silicone piece down there is gonna be a little tight, but should be able to make it work. Luckily this wire has some flex to it, so yeah, let's go ahead and try this. Last video before my phone dies, I got this thing out. Can't believe it. The secret ways of the M119. Nobody's ever shared this. I'm gonna try to show you guys exactly how to get this out. It's not that difficult, but it takes some patience, definitely. All right, just got this last little bit off this portion, so now I'll be easily sneaking that new line we got on there. Definitely would have never got this off without taking the throttle body off, so it was a must. Plus, I get the chance to clean everything up. The thing is absolutely filthy. Can't believe my phone is still alive. It's on 1%. Bye-bye. The aftermath. All right, guys, about a week later, checking back in to get this thing buttoned back up. First thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna use this cool little Milwaukee vacuum I got from work, borrowed. So gonna get this cleaned up in here, just vacuum everything out. Then, I don't have any brake clean with me, but we'll just clean everything up with WD-40. Doesn't need to be absolutely spotless, but I can at least get rid of a lot of this dirt, which is just from the old PCV line, basically seeping out and collecting all the dirt right there on the intake runners. As far as the gasket goes, I think you can actually reuse this gasket, but I'll go ahead and replace it most likely since we have the new one. Yeah, I can't really tell what is on here as far as the gasket goes actually, but I guess we'll see once I take it off. But yeah, I need to get that throttle body cleaned up and get everything else around here cleaned up first. Alright guys, we're cleaning this up a little bit with WD-40, but I'm gonna hit it with some acetone. That'll help clear out the rest of this stuff. Down in here, I'm not gonna bother. I'll clean it up a little bit more than it is now, but I'm not gonna go too crazy. But I did notice, you can see the middle of that vacuum line, the yellow one right there, is a very common spot for it to split. It does have a crack in it, so I'm actually gonna use some of the silicone vacuum line that I have and basically make a patch between those two spots. It's gonna make it a little bit tricky getting the throttle body back in there because it is pretty tight getting it out, but it'll be worthwhile because it's definitely losing some vacuum right there. So yeah, time to clean this up. All right guys, she is not perfect, but a heck of a lot better than before. There it is. And I don't know what to do about this gasket right now because I am trying to take it off, but it's basically just wanting to splinter into pieces. So I'm gonna try a few more times, and if I can't get it, I honestly might just run it. So we'll see. All right, we got the gasket off. Just had to find the right spot to start it, and peeled up nice. Got to clean all this up. Not sure what was used. Looks like some type of gasket maker, maybe. But yeah, we'll get this cleaned up and should be able to just sandwich it in. I might grab some like silicone or something to help it stick on here while I'm doing this. All right guys, the new gasket is on. I put a little bit of high temp silicone just as kind of like a way to hold it on there, not really as the main seal. But my next trick that I did, I threw this 1/2-inch silicone hose onto the PCV port for the throttle body side. Basically my plan is I'm gonna run this up to this piece right here, which I'm gonna have to cut down, but this is going to sit on the port back here. So this is, I measured it, I think it was about 0.8 of an inch. So it was, I can't remember, 5/8 or 7/8, I think 7/8. So this is 7/8 to 5/8. And I'm gonna use a connector to connect to the 1/2 inch. So the 1/2 inch will be a bit of a stretch for the 5/8 connector, but shouldn't be a problem. This was also a stretch to get this on there, but it fits good and it's not gonna go anywhere. So yeah, anyways, I will show you guys how I route this up exactly once I finish. All right, and I'm sorry that I don't have a clip of me removing it exactly, but I'm gonna try to do a time lapse of me putting it back in so you can see somewhat. But basically, to boil it down, how you get the throttle body out, because it is a tight fit, it's kind of like a magic method of how you do it. So if you imagine how the throttle body sits, you want to lift it up on both sides, like kind of holding it up with your hands, levitating off of the kind of base where it sits on there. Once you get it up a little bit, about, I don't know, not even 1/2 inch, then you can start to kind of turn it towards you. So you're going to angle it, try to basically get the bigger side into this crevice. Once you can get it up and get that bigger side into the crevice, that's when you'll have enough room to basically pull it out vertically. So it's kind of like the Millennium Falcon lifting off out of a very tight area. So yeah, you just gotta kind of be patient, and after about 5 minutes of me figuring out which is gonna be the best route for it to go, that was the best route. So yeah, I'm gonna get this side cleaned up and then we're gonna throw this back in here. Alright guys, as you probably saw from the time lapse, that was a complete nightmare. Oh my god, man. I had waited too long putting the silicone on to keep the gasket stuck to the bottom of the throttle body. I probably should have just stuck it to the actual intake, would have been easier to place this on top of that. But yeah, long story short, I ended up getting it in the place it needed to go. Silicone hose idea worked out well. It's just gonna kind of tuck back in there. That way it'll have a nice bend to it, and I can cut the extra off that I don't need. Last thing I need to do is get this basically little ball joint, or whatever you want to call those, and the spring attached. And then I also, you guys saw earlier, I actually have a filter that I'm going to use on the MAF. We'll see if this fits. It's not a huge deal if I don't end up using it. It was $15 on sale, so I'll return it if I don't end up using it. But what I am going to do, like you guys saw last time, is cut this down to size and get this thing secured onto the throttle body. And then, yeah, we'll be good to go. All right, guys, I cut that silicone gasket down to size, and everything is on. The clamp is on. It's on there nice and firm. It's not going anywhere. I didn't even bother putting a clamp on the top portion because it's such a tight fit. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's just gonna be more hassle on me if I did it that way. So yeah, we're ready to move on. Last step is the PCV line, and then putting on our either aftermarket filter or the OEM air box. All right, I got that piece cut down to size, and I'm gonna go ahead and use our 5/8 splicer. This is nylon. It's good with high temperature, so, and pretty cheap. So yeah, I'm gonna split this in, cut this hose to size, and we should be good to go. All right, guys, we're officially wrapped up as far as throttle body and all that stuff, and PCV. Cleaner than factory, if I do say so myself. I'm able to tuck it underneath the fuel rail, and still can easily fit on the factory air box. So pretty cool. So work for me. So now let's see if this thing will fit. This is basically like a universal filter, but it's either 3.5 or 4. I know the 4 is too big, and I do think 3.5 might be too small, but let's see if this thing will fit on here. All right, guys, well, no matter what I tried, that filter just would not work. It was designed for, like I said, 3-inch, 3.5, or 4-inch, and this opening of the MAF is about 3.75 exactly. So if it was silicone, probably could have got it to stretch, but it's more of a rubber material. So I'm gonna try to find a proper filter that will work. But in the meantime, let's start it up like this. All right, guys, fingers crossed. Let's see how this goes. All right, good sign. Idling normal. Idle down, put it in. Oof. All right, well, that's drive. Don't mind oil light, that's a normal thing. Well, seems good to me. And who knows, maybe that vacuum line had been leaking for a while. I don't know if that vacuum line is connected to the trans or not, but if it is, Could improve things on the trans, I guess, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check online with the gurus, see what that yellow line was for. I remember somebody telling me, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, actually it does sound like it's running smoother, so interesting to see. This airbox doesn't seem like it's on here secure, so I am definitely going to try to find a different filter, but for now I'm gonna clean this thing up, and that'll be the video.